Now this lesson isn't particularly sexy, but by goodness it's important. It's your health, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to go in depth on this, but if you are hoping to make your living from music, or even if you just want to enjoy your life in general, you've got to take care of your health, and in particular, your ears. These are the #1 tool for mixing well. If you can't hear properly, you won't be able to mix properly. Now when our ears hear loud noises, the muscles in them tighten, and this is to protect them. But this means that we can't hear as well, our ears aren't as sensitive, so before we get stuck into a mixing session, it's important that our ears are relaxed and they are able to hear what we're doing properly. It's kind of like if you imagine an artist staring at a bright light and then trying to paint, it's the same thing except for our ears. So if we've been in a loud environment and then we try to mix, our ears just won't be as effective. And that's why I recommend mixing in the morning, or at least after you've been away from loud sounds for at least an hour or two. And there are a few things we can do to look after our health. One, it's obvious really, don't mix at really high volumes. Not only is it bad for your ears, it's also deceptive because music usually sounds better to us when it's loud. It sounds more powerful. So if we're mixing mostly at low or moderate levels, we're able to do a better job. And then now and again we can just check it at slightly higher levels to make sure it still works when the volume is a bit louder. Take breaks to allow your ears to rest, relax and recalibrate. So if you've been mixing for an hour or two, just take a break for 20 minutes or so, get a cup of tea and allow your ears to relax in a quiet environment. Now this third point is probably one of the most important things I've done. Now I used to DJ out a lot, every single weekend in London, and I bought a pair of custom made earplugs. Now they were quite expensive to me at the time, I think they cost me £120 or something like that, but they're one of the best investments I ever made. Because they're custom made, they allow all the frequencies to come through so I can still hear the music, it's just attenuated so it's at a lower volume. Whereas if you buy cheaper earplugs like the foam ones for instance, they muffle out the high frequencies and you can't enjoy the music as much. Now of course you don't want to wear earplugs when you're mixing because you can just turn the volume down and that's how you protect your ears. But if you do go out to clubs, festivals or concerts, please do consider getting a good pair of earplugs. Now a brand I use, and I know loads of other producers and DJs who use them, is a company called ACS, and here is the link if you want to check out their website. Now another thing to consider is to buy larger headphones if you are mixing in headphones, because they're more comfortable. I've got a pair of Sennheiser HD25 Mark IIs and they are for DJing, but they've got very small cans and they sound great, but if I mix on them for more than 30 minutes, maybe an hour, my ears actually start to hurt. So I've also got a larger pair of headphones, which are the Sennheiser HD650s. Now the last point is just your health in general. Get your rest, eat well, you're going to have clearer focus, you're going to feel more comfortable in your own body when you're mixing, and invest in something like an ergonomic chair. Now again, this can be quite expensive, you know, running $300–400, but if you're sitting at a desk for many hours a day, it really is such a great investment because your back's going to feel better, you're not going to get backache, your neck's not going to hurt so much. And just make sure that it's set up at the right height with a good desk, a good working environment, so you're not just hunched over your laptop on an armchair, or worse still, like a hard kitchen chair. And that's it really, the rest is just common sense. We are in the music production game to enjoy ourselves, so the last thing we want to do is damage our bodies.